hello. How is everybody? Oh, that light's bright. Let me see if I can do that. See, does that fix it? Oh, that's better. That was very bright. How is everyone? Let me know what the feed is like. I just got a little message here. Let me read this. Hangouts on Air is going away later this year. For quick streaming, try youtube.com webcam. Ooh. Did anybody know about that? Hangouts is going away. Good old YouTube, always screwing around with the system. Thanks, guys. That makes it really helpful. Okay, so I don't have a co-host this evening, but I do have a Leona in the chat. Everyone welcome Leona as a new moderator of the show. You are all very welcome. Let me just go down the list and see who is here. I had a couple of technical issues there, so I'm sorry I'm a wee bit late, folks. So we have Andy, the new daddy. Congratulations, Andy. Yoo-hoo! Andy is a new daddy and his wife, of course. Congratulations. I hope everything goes brilliantly, and thoughts with new baby and wife. We have Wayne the Woodturner, Christine Hasseltine. We have Christopher Bingham. We have Blue Light. We have... Who else do we have? I think I saw Anna there. Woody Wood. The Woody Woodpecker Show. Sarah. How are you, Sarah? Long time no speaky. Maple, the Tree Studios is there. Congratulations. Congratulations for actually making it and seeing me. I'm very nervous and I'm a bit screwed up in the head because of things that went a little bit wrong, but it's okay. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Who else? Anna. Yeah, I did see Anna there. Hi, Anna. And I think that's about it at the moment. Anybody else that joins? I'm sure people will shout at me. So, yes, Leona is there to throw questions at me. She's not in my ear, as Dave would be normally. We might be arranging something like that at a later date. Right. So, welcome to the new channel, Woodturning Live with Steve. I made the plunge like I was going to be threatening to do for a while. I was just a bit nervous that maybe I'd lose viewers and stuff like that. But then I thought, you know what? Hi, Miss T. I've got 20,000 subscribers, yes. But to be honest with you, if I ever spend hours and hours videoing a video and then spend hours and hours editing it, hours that I don't have in my life, and then spend 2 hours trying to get it to upload to YouTube because of my connection and stuff like that, I only get, on average, and I am grateful for it, but it's not worth the effort. I only get between 2, maybe at a push, 600 views. And it's just not worth all the effort. I enjoy doing lives. I enjoy the interaction of the lives. Even if there was one person there, I would get just as much buzz as having 100 people there. So what I want to do is I want to build this up to be a live channel, and that's what it's going to be. Sorry about the light buzzing in and out there. It's the laptop camera and it's picking up on the light above me. So it's going to be all live. Everything's live. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be popping up here and there. Sometimes there won't be a scheduled event. I'll just be working in my workshop and I'll just hit go live. The computer's going to be set up all the time, cameras and everything. I'll just hit go live and I'll just be chatting and doing whatever I'm doing in the workshop. I'll also be doing proper lessons. So turn with me lessons, like similar to what I did last week with the sphere, and Leona had a go at home. So if there's any projects that you would like to see and learn how to do, Not saying that I know how to do everything. I'm not a professional, but I'm a slightly more seasoned amateur, is the best way I could describe it. So if there's a project, even right back to beginning or sharpening or tools or anything like that to demonstrate a particular tool, a texturing tool or a pyrography, anything to do with wood turning, whether it's the artistic side or the turning of it. If there's something that you want to see me do and you want to have a go at turning along, you'll see on the thumbnail of this, it says attempting to turn a handbag. Yeah, I know. I'll explain that in a minute. And at the bottom in brackets, it will say project. This one says project, or it will say turn along live, or it will just be demonstration. So you'll know what show is coming up and what it is. That's my plan. If you've got a particular piece of wood or hybrid or something that you want to send me to turn something for you and then send it back to you or whatever and do a live show on it, I am all down for that. Okay. There's a new address. It's not my home address. It's a delivery address, kind of like a PO box, but it's not a PO box. In the description below, you can send anything you want to that address and it will get to me. So there's a new address set up. So if there's something that you want turned, if you've got a blank or a specific thing that you want me to try and turn, whether it's out there wacky, I don't mind. I'll stick anything on the lathe as long as it's not going to kill me, and I'll give it a go. So that's where we are. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be lives all the way, no editing. I will not be re-editing these lives. That'll be it. They'll be up. What I will do is I'll go back over the lives and I'll put timestamps in the description so you can jump to the actual make and jump past all the talking if you want. And you can join in and all that. Okay. With that said, we're going to do this week's project, or we're going to start it. This could be an ongoing one. Yes, you can send your kids, but I think I might get arrested if I put them on the lathe. Hashtag just saying, why are you jumping in and out? Stupid lad. Stupid lad. Right, so I'll show you what I've got on here at the moment. I've started rounding off a piece of wood. Yes, Wayne, I'm going to be doing the cowboy hat. I have that still soaked. Yes, I would. Yeah, that's going to be one for sure. But you know what happened? We won't get into it. But you know what happened in between then and now, and it's kind of been put on the back burner. But hi, Larry. Welcome aboard the new show, old show. So yeah. I hope you all understand that. I hope I haven't put any of you off with that, the fact that there won't be any edited videos, but it's just the way it's going to go, I'm afraid, peoples. Right, let me throw you over to this camera here. I have a piece of, I think it's beech. I think this is another piece that I got from Leona at Makers Central. It's just a square blank that I've started rounding off. It's got a couple of cracks in it, so I'm not sure where it's going to go. My plan is basically I'm going to do a round type handbag. This is only going to be a small one because it's kind of a practice. I've not done this before, and it's literally going to be a small handbag, just a small hollowed out round. Okay, and we're going to turn it as thin as we can where it's still holding its shape. Yeah, so it's going to be still holding its shape, quite thin to take the weight out of it. And then I'm going to take that off and I'm going to turn, in theory, a lid for it. Okay, out of another piece of wood that I have down there somewhere, but I have it there. I'll turn a lid for it, glue that on, and then we'll cut the top off. Now I might do a bit of an angle on it so that it's kind of a bit shaped or whatever, you know, when we close it off. It'll only be angled one side, but just to make it a bit fancy. And then obviously I'll do some design or something on the front faces. I've got it between centers because I'm going to turn a tenon on this side to hold it in the chuck, because for hollowing I want a good grip on it. And I just didn't have time to do the faceplate thingy, to be honest with you. What else? Oh yeah, I got, where is it? I got these. Hold on a second. I got these from a no thrill shop. Let me just whack you over to this camera again. So I got these leather type leash things. I think they're animal leashes. I don't know. It doesn't really say. But they've got nice little buckles and that, and they're nice leather type straps. So I thought it would be nice to make the strap for it to hold it, and maybe use these as the buckles and make some kind of lid for it. But this all came about from Heidi Jacobs from Slap Stuff Together, her fanny pack or bum bag, and I said, oh, I'm going to make a wooden one. So that's where that's come from. So we'll have a bit of fun. It's just a bit of simple kind of bowl turning and hollowing. Let's see where it goes. We'll finish making this round. Let me head back over to this one. I'll move my other camera over here ready so that we can have a little action shot over there. That's all set up there now. Hi, Buster. Yeah, that's what I aim to be, is if not successful, at least it'll be entertaining, interesting, and fun. So I am using my my big 1/2 inch crown bowl gouge, and it has the 40-degree thumbnail on it, thumbnail grind. And like I said, I've started rounding this off. I'll continue, and then once I've got it round, we're going to start working some kind of tenon on the headstock side. Let's give it a bash, shall we? Whiz! If you have any questions, please ask them. And Leona, let me just straighten this up for you if I can, so it's not irritating you. There you go. It has got a bit of a wobble on it at the moment, but that will stop in a minute. Yeah, if you have questions, just ask them, and Leona will keep them, and she'll ask me when I go back to the chat, okay? Here we go. I'm turning at 1100 at the moment, and my bowl gouge is freshly sharpened. I think maybe the other one will be a better camera for you. There you go. And as I go along this, folks, as I get more into this live feed, I'll probably invest in a couple more cameras. And I think I can set it up in a way that it's remote control. So it'll be a nicer experience for you guys. I honestly think this is the way YouTube's going to be going, is going lives. Okay, we can go up with the speed a little bit now because we're a bit rounder and the wobble's gone down. We've gone up to about 1200 there now. Cutting quite nicely. It is quite dry, this wood. We're cutting into end grain there, obviously, so see the bounce there. We're still, hey, boing, boing. See if we can get the speed up a bit more. We're going about 1400 there. Move my tool rest just in slightly, get a bit closer to the piece. Now, it took a while for me to get back into my workshop. I've had a slump this last week, maybe a bit more. Just with, you know, you lose that push to want to do something. And I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad I made this decision too, because I was kind of putting pressure on myself to get videos out there. And I guess if you're doing something and it's not fun, that's time to stop doing it. And I wasn't finding the editing and the time spent doing all the filming and shots and all that. I just wasn't enjoying it. I might go back to it one day, but not quite yet. This is actually quite a nice bit of wood. It's cutting nice. A little bit of end grain there. But yeah, we're good. We've got one little flat spot at the top here. I'll just show you. Oh, not that one. Hello. We've got one little flat spot just here. But as you can see, it's quite round there. Yes, so the lives will be time stamped. I will go back on the lives and I'll time stamp them. And what that means is, basically, if you're not familiar with timestamps, you can add timestamps to your videos, and you can click on the time that I put into the description, and it will take you to that part of the video. So it's edited in its own way. So I can skip. You'd be able to skip bits. So if it's a tutorial. This wouldn't be that much of a tutorial, but there will be some techniques and things I'll be showing you. This is more of a project video. You'll be able to jump all the talk at the beginning and just go straight into the project. And you'll be able to skip along. You know, I'm not doing all this for views anymore. I'm not doing it for views. I'm not doing it to try and get payment. I know that my channel just isn't going to be that. And I'm just not going to kill myself doing it. I'm going to use my channel for the purposes I want to use it. And that's sharing my knowledge as I go along. I will also, I'll give you a little sneak bit of information. I'll just get this. I will also, because it's live shows, I'll be doing some traveling shows. Probably to start off with in Ireland, but I'm trying to get a mobile setup sorted. And I will be bringing my gear along and maybe visiting people and doing the live show from their workshops or from a location near them. So we could go to a beach, set up my portable lathe with a generator and do it on the beach or whatever. So that's what I'm heading for in the future. I'm hoping to get that sorted for the summer if I can, but I have got a lot going on in the summer. Let me flip that so you're getting a better view. There you go. Exciting times ahead indeed. I've kind of come to terms with the fact that, and I've only ever been honest with anybody that's watched my show. There's no point bullshitting and pretending that I'm someone I'm not. I've come to terms with the fact that I'm probably not going to get on the wood turning circuit as such. That's all right. I'm all right with that. So why not create my own wood turning circuit where I don't have to worry about guilds and all that kind of stuff? I can just go visiting people, load up, eventually have some kind of trailer or van or something. That's just a pull cut I'm doing there because I am round. Oh, I've still got a little bit of a flap. You can see with the pull cut, the wispies are slightly different. See? Get some speed up and get a nice cut on this now. Now, I haven't even started this and my daughter's claimed it on Facebook. She said, that's my handbag now. Thanks, Dad. Still got a tiny little flat there, which we'll get rid of. I want to get that perfectly round. I don't want to be messing with flat spots. Once this is turned, it's turned, this outer edge. So yeah, hopefully we can do some traveling. If anybody is in Ireland and would like to get in touch with me regarding visiting their workshops, obviously I can't really travel overseas because of financing and stuff like that at the moment. I will be financing it myself. But if there's anybody in Ireland who would like me to come and visit, then get in touch with me. Maybe Leona will throw my email up. It's still templeboyturnings@gmail.com. If you save that, folks, you can email me and give me your details, whereabouts you are in Ireland, and I'll come visit you. I'll bring all my cameras set up. I'll be bringing my gear. So you don't necessarily have to have all the wood turning gear. I'm going to be bringing my setup. A whole road show. Cameras, laptop, mobile Wi-Fi. All you have to do is give me a place and we'll do it. I just think it'll be fun. Okay, we're completely round there. If you can hear kids screaming in the background, it's okay. They're not being murdered. They are just playing in the field because we've got a really nice day here today. So we are perfectly round now. Let me show you the top. There you go. We're perfectly round. Nice piece of wood. We've got a nice cut on there. It's not very fuzzy at all. We've got some nice cuts. I've got a little tiny bump there, which I'm going to get rid of now with the final pass. And then we're going to clean up the back edge. Not too worried about the front edge at the moment. Going to clean up the back edge and get a tenon on there that we can get into the chuck then. Then we can do all the rest of the hawking out and shaping and stuff like that. Like I say, it's not going to have too much shape because this is an experimental one. If it works, then we'll probably do another one and it'll be a more fancy one. Wayne, thank you so much for the super chat. It's so kind of you. All the super chats donations will be going into a pot now. I pretty much have most of the tools and stuff I need now. I've, I'm getting kind of a second set put together for others to use when I'm doing instructionals and lessons live, with other people. But the money now will go towards the whole traveling side of it. So thank you very much. That's so kind of you, Wayne. Right, last pass on the outside of this. Just got a bump there that I want to just clean up. Just nice light cuts. I'm not pushing hard. See the little wispies that I'm getting? Nice little tidy wispies. That's a sign of a sharp tool. There we go. I think I'm happy with that anyway for now. It's a handbag. It's not a designer piece. Well, it is a designer handbag, I suppose. It's no Prada. Right, I should put that tool up here for a second, and I want to just decide what I want to do with this. Right, so we're going to clean up this head. Thanks, Andy. Dude, you shouldn't be throwing your money away. You've got babbies to feed. Excuse me. Right, so we're going to clean up the headstock side. Thanks so much, Blue. And you're putting me off, lads. And we're going to put a tenon on. So let's do that. We're going to carry on with the bowl gouge just for now to clean that inside edge up. Now, when you're turning between centers like this with a bowl blank like this, keep just checking that you're tight, because it can get loose on the headstock and, cause a few issues. Let's cut in this way, actually. Just cleaning it up at the moment because it is a little bit wonky. It was a wonky blank. Nice and easy. I'm not taking huge cuts. I am aware that I could get a catch on the inside here because I'm going quite a way off of my tool rest. Pushing down onto the tool rest. There we go. Just tidying up a bit. I can do a bit of a pull cut now. Now that we're a little bit flatter and we're not being aggressive. Like I say, this is just tidying it up. This is what I mean about cameras. I want to get one that's pointing that way so you can see what's happening on the inside here. I can move this other camera, but cables and things get in the way. I have got a longer lead, but you know, it just makes it awkward. So if I can have a camera that's set up permanently over the other side that I can zoom into it, then that'll be much better. So I'm gonna look into that, getting another camera. Let's just take a look at that. Okay, yeah, that's almost straight. There's a little bit of a dip there, as you can see. So we're almost there. Once I've got that flattened up, then oh, it's a really nice piece of wood. There's some quilting in there. It's lovely. So yeah, I'm just going to get that dip out of it. And once I've done that, we can put the tenon on it. Well, I can start working on the tenon now, to be honest with you. Any questions, Leona? How are you, Rob? How are you? Right. No questions at the moment. Let's get the tenon into this. We'll start cutting in this way. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The spin that I do on the lathe. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I forget to turn the lathe down. It's just something that I've never got used to doing. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I'll remember it. Sometimes I won't. And this is a cheap lathe. We can only pray and hope to have and dream to have a top of the range lathe one day that resets itself to 0 every time you turn it off. But until that day, I'll keep going with what I have. Now, most wouldn't do it this way. Like I said, I had a few hiccups getting the live started earlier. So I just put it between centers. You wouldn't necessarily do it this way. You'd put it on a face plate or you put it on a screw, you know. I mean, who says there's rules in wood turning anyway? As long as you're being safe. I mean, this, I don't see this as being dangerous the way I'm doing this. I'm away from the line of fire. If it comes off, I'm way over the other side of the headstock doing this. So, I don't know. Whatevs. I mean, what says you? Be honest with me. I've got some seasoned turners watching me. Rob's a very seasoned bowl turner. He'll probably be thinking, why the hell are you doing it like that, Steve? Well, he won't actually, because he knows me. He knows I don't do things like everybody else. But yeah, I don't see a problem with it. Okay, we're nearly at the size that I need to be. A little bit more. See, I remember to turn the lathe down that time. Miss T's got washing up to do. That's fine, Miss T. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. Have a good evening. Like I say on these lives, that's the good thing about live. You can pop in and out as you want. Doesn't matter how long I'm going. If you've got stuff to do, you've got stuff to do. I'm going to be turning anyway, so I'm as well to have a camera on and share what I'm doing for people that don't necessarily have important stuff to be doing. And when the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember you this way. Don't know why I've got that song on my mind. Strange, that. Okie dokie. There we go. I think we're near enough at the size I want to be. Take a little bit more off, and then we'll put the dovetail on, because it is a dovetail chuck that I have. There we go. Leave that running. We'll get my... Okay, I've got a bit of a wobble there, so we could have got a bit loose. Let's just see. I don't know. We're good. Skew. Raise up a little bit, because skew's a little bit different to the gouge. Raise the tool rest up a bit. What's saying? I will be coming to the UK one day but I want to sort out a road trip where I'll be visiting, kind of like what Richard and Kat did, do you know? But it'd be just a purely wood turning road trip. So I'm just working in very slowly. I'll put a bit more speed on that. Very slowly working in my dovetail. Not pushing in too hard. I am aware that I could get a catch on this using the skew this way. Just literally like a negative rake scraper. I'm just feathering in a dovetail. There we go. That's what I mean about a catch. It's end grain that I'm going into, so just got to be aware of that. There we go. That'll do me. That's a nice dovetail there. And I've kind of got used to doing them by eye. I tend to get them pretty spot on. That's a nice clean dovetail ready to go into my chuck. I might just take this face off because I've got a slight belly on it, so I'll use the skew just to take that front edge off. Don't want to go too close to the drive center. I can just file that last bit off or sand it off. That's not a problem. There you go. So that's our tenon. I can put that into a tenon now, and I can hollow out the inside now, and we can try and get quite a thin outer side case on this. Is everyone following along so far? Everybody happy with what I'm doing? Unhappy? You know, I'm not saying the way I do it is the way you have to do it. I'm just saying it's the way that, or it's one of the ways I do it. You know, and I don't think there's any harm in learning other techniques. There we go. Take that off now. I can knock my drive out. It is a nice bit of wood, that. There we go. And I've got Chucky McChuck over here. This is the Nova chuck. 50 mil, I think it is. Jaws. So there we go. Pop that in there. Pretty much spot on for my, for my dovetail. It's a good fit. Don't know if that's showing on the camera. That's a nice, pretty much spot on for the size of dovetail that I have. Get a good tighten. Kind of, I always spin it around. A lot of turners would, and use both keys of the chuck. It just stops you wearing one out. Really, it's just more habit than anything. There's no real reason for doing it. They tighten up equally, whichever side you use. So that's that. You can see there's a slight wibble wobble, but that's because I haven't faced the front off yet. We'll do that next, and we can start hollowing it. So how goes the chat? Is everybody happy with what I've done there so far? Or no? So only, like I said, it's going to be a small little bag. It's not going to be super big. I'm just moving my camera, by the way, if you're wondering what the hey I'm doing with all the rustling and the messing. Just getting it so that it's not leaning up against the lathe. Do you know what I'm doing? I'm going to put it over in the corner. What I might do actually is eventually I'm going to move my lathe out from the wall a bit. I got my bin in the way. Do 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 do. So I went to see a movie last night, and it's a long time since I've seen a really rubbish film. Why is that not? That camera's not settling, but anyway. Yeah, it's a while since I've seen a rubbish film, but boy, was that a rubbish film I saw. It was called Ma, and it was a load of pants. Took like an hour to, let me just put this on this way so you can see what I've done with that camera now. I can zoom that in a little bit. Yeah, it took an hour for the film to even warm up. And then a little bit of scary stuff happened, which wasn't super scary. And that was it. End of film. And myself and my wife were left a bit, oh, is that it? Yeah. So it was pants. So I wouldn't recommend Ma, I'm afraid. There you go, film review. Hi, PC Man. Hi, Tom. Good to see you. Anyone else? How do you pronounce that? Pole? Barn Productions. How are you? Okay, so again, going to the bowl gouge, we're going to clean this front up, get it square, and then we'll pull the tailstock away. This is just a bit of support. Pull the tailstock away and we'll start hawking out the inside. Hawky, McHawk, McHawker. I might true the outside up a little bit just so that it's true to the tenon. But let's do the front face first. We're spinning about 1200 there at the moment. Going to do some pull cuts. Excuse me for coughing in your ears. It happens. It's great when you've got a nice sharp bowl gouge. You can really get a nice clean cut, as you can see. There we go. We can even start gouging out the inside of this. But like I say, now I've got that front edge trued up, I think. We'll just have a look at it. See, now I've mentioned that, I'm turning it off every time. Yeah, we've got that pretty much trued up. I'm going to true up the outside edge again so it's true to the tenon, like I said. And then we can hawk this out. Like I said, it's not going to be a huge handbag, but it's the way that we embellish it and stuff later on that's going to be interesting. It's going to go with some wispy cuts. I think there's a bit of a knot there that could be causing it right on the edge there, causing it to be a little bit off balance. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. We'll have a look in a second. Sometimes you get a knot in the side of a piece of wood and you think that you're off balance, but it's just the wood structure. Kind of like, oh, see, I forgot to turn down the speed of the lathe there. Kind of like the balancing of a wheel. You know, when you get your wheels balanced at the garage, they add a little bit of weight so that it spins evenly. Like if you've got a knot, there's a knot here. Let me just change the camera so I can show you what I mean. See, we've got a knot here and we've got a knot here and then no knots anywhere else. So those knots would tend to be harder wood, as we know. So if they're harder, they're probably that tiny little bit more heavier than the bulk wood around. And that's what's causing the imbalance of it spinning. You know, well, that could be one of the reasons. That's the reason I'm going to say anyway. Okay, let's hawk a little bit out, shall we? We're going to use the bowl gouge to start with. We might use fancy tools afterwards. Yep. Who we got? Hi, Dave. How are you? Hope you're well. Right, something came up. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, Leona's not taking over. She's filling in. She's very good to fill in. There's no takeover. There's no takeover, man. Right, let's let's hawk some of this out. Like I said, we're going to go with quite a thin. We're going to go with quite a thin wall on this because we want it to be as light as possible. Go. Some nice shavings coming off of there. Oh, that's cool. Shavings flying towards the camera. That's wood porn, that is. See those? Very nice shavings, look. Oh, shavings. Thanks, Leona. Leona just reminding you that I am, well, sponsored's a strong word. I am supported by Crown Hand Tools. I use Crown Hand Tools, mainly Crown Hand Tools. They are, I'm not just saying it because they support me. They are affordable and really nice tools. I mean, they hold an edge, and as you can see, they do the job. And they're sexy looking. Look at that. Lol. Just a reminder as well, as I said at the beginning of the show, for those of you that have only just joined, this is a new format to the show. There will no longer be any proper edited videos going up on my channel. It will only be lives from now on. And if there is something that you would like to see turned, or you have a blank, or something that you would like to see turned, you can send it to me. I have a postal address now. It's not my home address, so don't get excited. You can't send the paparazzi to me being so famous and all. Lol. You can send those to me. The address is in the description below. It's kind of like a PO box, but not quite. And as it says below that, mark it as a lower end item, because otherwise customs will get me, and I will just leave it where it is. Now we're getting kind of to the point now where we're at our maximum reach with our gouge there, without moving the tailstock out the way. So I will do that now. We'll move the tailstock out the way, and do the rest of the hollowing. Hollowing. Oh, I need to get a longer handle on my tailstock because it hurts my hand. There we go. We'll move that out of the way. I'm going to wind this out of here so that I save my elbow. Who returned? Oh, Miss T returned. Hi, Miss T, you're back. That was a quick bit of washing up. It's nice to see we're not the only ones without a dishwasher. Stupid dishwashers. They just, oh look, pulled the end out. Cool. Right. Turn this around here. Right. There we go. Oh, no. Again, with the cheap lathe, you have to keep doing up bolts and things so that we tighten up properly. There we go. Let's continue. That's spinning quite nice now. So 1400. We can get rid of the centerpiece now. Now, with this new setup, new format, as I'm calling it, I'm not going to have any particular nights that I go live. There we go. Because I'm just going to work it into my weekly schedule and not put myself under pressure that I have to go live a certain night. But I am going to be doing more lives, more each week. I'm going to take this tailstock right off, out of my way. Maybe, if it will let me. Come on now. Don't be a pain in tass. Ooh, you saucy tailstock, you. There we go. I got it off. Put it down there so I can get right round here. Yeah, so it'll be random turning whenever I feel like it. Oh, that's sexy, isn't it? Woohoo! That's cool, isn't it? I like that. Whee! That puts me in good form. Not really, because I've got to clean it up later, but there you go. So this will be an ongoing project. You know, I'm not going to be here for hours doing this. I will probably, because it's Father's Day tomorrow, I will probably go live tomorrow too. Would anybody be up for that? I'll continue with this on a show tomorrow. Let's have a show of hands. I know people will be busy with Father's Day and all. I no longer have a father, unfortunately. He has gone to the great pub in the sky. So, I'll be thinking of him while I'm creating tomorrow. It's nice. Just using the front tip just to pull the center away. Just pull cuts. It's lovely wood to turn this. Don't want to go too deep. And check my depth in a minute. Then we can do some push cuts into where I've just brought the pull and kind of marry it all in together. I have got hollowing tools and all that, but this is literally just like turning a bowl. The only thing is, with it being quite a small blank, is getting the bowl gouge in there, you know. All right, let's take a look at that. Just keep an eye, because we're getting thinner on the sides, just check for cracks and splits and all that jazz. We've got no cracks on the outside appearing. Seems to be quite a good stabilized piece of wood. All right, we'll check for depth. Any questions? Let's get my ruler and just check for depth. Like I say, I want to go quite thin. I want to leave enough at the back that I can maybe put a bit of a design. When we turn it round or whatever, we can put a design on it, maybe. Excuse me for sniffing in your ears. So I can go in probably about 65 mil. And we are at 40 right now, so we can go another 20-25 mil deep. It's going to be difficult to do that with the bowl gouge, seeing as we've got square edges, so I might just bring in my hollower just to get into there a little bit easier. This is the crown. I believe it's a 6 mil. Let me just measure it just to make sure I'm not sending you awry. It's an 8 mil. 8 mil cupped cutter on it. I don't know if you can see that. Is that showing? And it's got a tapered end on the bar. Now, that tapered end, if I'm honest, crown, you should have just left that as a solid bar without tapering it, because it does cause a little bit of vibration when you're going deep. But and then this is the soft grip handle that you can change the blades in it. I've got all sorts of blades that I can put into it. So that's that. Works at the same height as the bowl gouge, but it just cuts like a carbide. Need quite high speeds with it for it to cut nice. So we're going to go up to, we're about 1500 there, and you'll see this kind of cuts. See what I mean by the screech? That's because of that tapered end. If that was a solid bar all the way, kind of like I've got the Simon Hope hollower here. It's a smaller end, similar cupped end, but the Simon Hope is a solid bar. I don't know if that's showing there. The Simon Hope is a solid bar right along. with just a small blade at the end that you pull in and out, and that just has a bit more meat and takes the vibration out of it. But the crown, this particular crown anyway, it is nice. It does the job. It cuts beautifully, but that thin bit at the end just gives a little bit of vibration. Still does the job, but as you can hear, you'll hear that screech. That screech is like a vibration. I will be going through all the different tools, doing live tutorials on particular tools and how they work, best way to use them. The crown ones anyway. I don't know if you can see that working, can you, from that angle? Not sure. Can I zoom in a little bit maybe for you? Still looks like a bowl. Yes, it is a bowl at the moment. Andy, has baby got a name? You might have said already, but I haven't been looking at the chat. Let's go a bit deeper. You can really hawk the stuff out with this tool. Jacob Andrew Hill. Well, I'm going to do something right now, and it's going to be the first time Jacob has ever had it. First time ever. And I will be setting a trend that when was he born? Yesterday, was it? Or was it today? Andy. He was born yesterday, wasn't he? Just want to make sure. When did Jacob arrive? I know you sent me a message. I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? Oh, today. All right, that's perfect then. Okay, I will now set a trend that every year from now on, we will sing this song to Jacob. Are you ready, everybody? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jacob Andrew Hill. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Many happy returns, Jacob. There you go. First person to sing happy birthday to Jacob. Boom! Even if I'm not, I am. All right, we're almost at 50 mil depth. Anybody else see that? What just happened? You get brownie points if you just saw what just happened when I turned the lathe on. I think I might have to go and get a cup of tea in a minute. I bet a Viking's crying. Love to see a Viking cry. Screech! What's everybody working on these days? Andy's been working on his dad's skills, nappy changing skills, puke clearing up. You know that, those of you that fathers, do you know that first baby poo? First baby poo, it's like black, blacky green. It's lovely. Getting accustomed to all that good stuff. Baby puke on your shoulder, on your lap, just as you've changed into your smart clothes. Baby puke. Just ready to go out. Babysitter's arrived, just about to go. You say, do you know what? I'll just change him before I go out. The little hose sticks up, showers you from head to toe. Many's a time you go to fancy shows just in jeans and a t-shirt because your tux has been pissed on. You know, because we're always wearing tuxes, us dads. The smell of that black poo as well, huh? We'll check wall thickness in a second. Hello, Mike from Ontario, Canada. I was there a couple of weeks ago. How are you? Good to have you on. JP. Well, Mr. JP, how the devil are you, chap? 55 mil. All right, we're getting there. Let's check our wall thicknesses. Oh, we're going along here. Where's me caliper? My caliper, pa. There it is. And who else do we have? We have Bernie. Did Leona say hi to a Bernie? We have a Bernie, do we? Hi, Bernie, if we do. My children are killing themselves out there. Being very noisy. What thickness are we at the bottom there? Wall thickness so far, we're at about 13 millimeters. At the base, we're a little bit thinner at the front, but I want to try and get that as thin as we can to make this as light as we can. Like I say, we will be turning a front for this, sticking it on, and then cutting the top off so we've got an opening at the top. And before we stick the front on, I might, let me turn the camera to the top. Get a pencil, drop that down there, get me pen Louis, and sharpen this pencil. Pen Louis? Pen Louis is pencil. It's Irish for pencil. Get my knife, I meant. Oh, just don't bother trying to speak Irish, Steve. You're not Irish. Right. Yes. So my plan maybe is, why I've left this so wide, is that I might cut it at an angle somewhere like this to give it a bit of character. And then, I mean, obviously it'll have to go right across because otherwise it won't work. But cut it, sand it, and then stick a disc and return it again on the front, if you get what I mean. That way you can have a bit of a shape, and then the opening will only be narrow, but it will go down to a wider part at the bottom. Still need to get your hand in there somehow, but it's only going to be a lady's hand, not a big bloke's hand. I'm not making a man bag. And like I say, this is only an experiment, this, to see can it be done. It was another Stevie challenge. I don't think anyone has wood turned a handbag before, so why not give it a go? Yeah, and then if that doesn't work, once we've stuck the front on and kind of got the shape we want, what I might do is recut down the center, part it again, and then put maybe a little bit of leather or something so that it's kind of flexible. The front and the back is so it can close, if you know what I mean. It'll be flexible. We'll see. I don't know. Right. Thanks, Leona. Someone kindly donated the blanks, just got source. Bottle stop it. What's this? What's this? Can someone tell me what? Oh, cool. Email me the details, Blue. Do you know I'm rubbish at flipping remembering names? And you made me a pen and everything. Excuse the language. Email the details and I'll promote it for you, buddy. And if you want me to turn a few bits for you, let me know. I'll do that on a live. Right. So we've got to take a bit more off the width, off the wall, and we've got to take, how much did I say? Another 10 mil? About another 10 mil off the depth. All the way? Yes. Let's do that. Hi, Jen. How are you? Lots of people jumping in today. That's fantastic. Great to have you on the new format. Wood Turning Live with Steve Twydale. Look at me getting all serious using my name and everything. I still don't mind being called Temple Boy. You know, A lot of people followed me. I just thought it was time to grow up. Ooh. Love that sound when you're going thin on the walls. Check that. Keep going back and checking your thicknesses. You don't want to mess it up now by just turning the inside bigger than the outside. Right, what we saying? Still have a tattoo, yeah. So do I. I was sensible though. I only put TT on my leg. So did you, JP, didn't you? So it can stand for Twydale Turner. Boom! All angles covered. Scott, yeah, Scott. That's it. Damn it. Sorry, Scott. Hi, Bernie. Ah, Bernie. That's Bernie. That Bernie. Bernie. Oh, Bernie. I've got a oh, Bernie. Remind me. Hey, Bernie, send me a message to remind me about that thing now, will you? I knew there was something I had to do. Send me a message to remind me of that, will you? You know what I'm talking about. Jen, you just smashed your thumb. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, do you remember I had that thing on my finger, that black, what camera are we on? Oh, we're over here. That black thing where I smashed my finger and I busted a nail. Well, the end of the nail's just literally grown off, and now I've got that horrible type feely thing on the end at the moment. Horrible. 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 Spelt with a capital horror. What should I use? I'll use my bar. It's not that bent. Oh, good. We're at 60. So it means we've got about 10 mil thickness on the bottom. I think I want to go about 5 mil at the bottom. So we've got to go another 5 mil into the center. We're pretty much the same all the way. So yeah, about another 5 mil in depth we need to go, and then we can concentrate on bringing the wall down as thin as possible. It's only going to be a sanded butt joint with the front. I might just do it with a different wood. I have chopping boards, which are I think they're olive wood. So an olive wood front on that might look nice. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, that's what we could do, folks. Do you know what? I could turn a ring, just a ring, and I said this is going to go along as we go along, right? It's going to be we'll work it out as we go along. I could just turn a ring so I'd part this off of here. We'll have a beach ring. I could then shape the front and back so it's just slightly thinner at the top than the bottom, right? I could then glue olive on the front and back, which is a darker wood. That'd be sexy, wouldn't it? On the front and back, then turn it round again and cut the top off. That would be our bag then. What do you think to that? Yeah, Bernie. Still waiting for that banana. Right. Getting lost in the chat. I don't think I'm getting lost. I think Leona's probably keeping an eye on it, Scott. Don't worry. Leona, can you keep the details of that Scott's talking about, please? And I'll talk to you later about it, and I'll see what I can do to help as well. Even if it's the matter of cutting up some blanks and stuff, but I don't mind turning a few bits if you need them, especially if it's for a sensory room. That's what I am all about, as you know, Scott. So I'm in a sensory room pretty much every bloody day. They're awesome. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to turn a ring and go olive front and back. None of you are probably top it listening, but hey. Yeah, well, I've got an idea for the top, Wayne. Yes, I like the hinged idea. So we might make a bit of a hinged cover lid that goes over, exactly. And I've got a couple of nice fancy hinges. So, but they need to be small and dainty because it's a woman's handbag. Well, it might be like a trap. Hey, listen, it is what it is. It's not like you're going to go out using this thing, but at least I can say I would turn a handbag. Right, we'll go another few mil thickness, and then we can part that off. We can finish it outside, front, and inside. We can, I don't even have to do the front, because if we're going to be cutting it at an angle, I can decide that later on. I just need to go a bit deeper and then part it off as a ring. So I just need to sand the outside and maybe finish it. Don't even have to do that, because we're going to be putting it back on again to turn the olive. So, I mean, you know. Oh, Lord. I don't know what I'm doing. Why do I do these things? Why do I get myself into these things? Cause when I'm all choked up and I just can't find the words. When the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember you this way. Okay, we're still a bit thick at the bottom there. Take a bit off the wall. This being a round cutter, you can never get right into the cut corners, but I have a tool for doing that. I will show you it in a bit. It's a tool that I've adapted myself. It's a tool that I always go back to. I love it. I loves it. I do. I loves it. Let's see how we are with the depth. Depth doesn't really matter now. Turning and singing. Where would you get it? Tell you where. Woodturning Live with Steve Twydale. That's where. I'm not afraid to make an absolute twat of myself. as well you all know. Let's see how we are. Thickness, right, we're still quite thick at the very bottom. So from about there, let me mark it with a pencil so I know where I need to start working. So we're talking from about in there. Let me change the camera so you can see what I'm doing the inside. Shall I? Here you go. So I'm just marking a bit of a ring so I know where my thick part is that I can cut away at the bottom. And then I have this tool. I'll show you it now. It's an old tool. It's a very cheap tool. It's one of the original tools I got when I got my first lathe. It's just a square nose scraper. It was a round nose scraper originally. And I've put quite a good sharp end on it. But I've also, I got this idea from Sam Angelo. I don't know if you all know Sam Angelo, the Wyoming turner. I don't know if he's a Wyoming turner now because he's moved. I've sharpened all along the edge too. So the front edge and the side have been sharpened. The edge is quite sharp as well as the front. So when I go in here, I can use that edge to clean up all the way down as deep as I want and use that as like a giant scraper. And it works really well. I always go to this tool. Now, I do have a new crown round nose scraper, but what I might do is I might get in touch with them and see can I get a bigger one and grind the front off and make a new one of these. Buster, thank you so much for the £2 donation. That's really kind of you. As I said earlier, Buster, donations are going to be going towards setting up my traveling roadshow that I'm going to be doing, where I can go and visit people and turn in their workshops, or even on their property, or on a beach down the road from them, or in a pub car park close to them. If you don't have a workshop and you're new to turning and you fancy getting started, I'm going to be doing that. Now, obviously in Ireland at the moment, because it's expensive to travel to the UK, but I might organise, if enough people get in touch with me, I might organise a, as Leona says, a travelling circus. And I promise to sing at your house, especially for you. I will serenade you as I turn. Right. Do you know what? I wonder if I bring this over here like this and turn it on. Does that help? Does that help the inside of that? Can you see that better, folks? If that's too bright, let me know and I'll turn the light off, because I know sometimes shadowing. It's better. Good. Thank you, Liana. What's Sarah saying? I'm still waiting to see if you're going to make it to Bulgaria. Well, Sarah, I would love to come Bulgaria. If they do £5 tickets at some point, I would love to come. Obviously, I'll only be bringing, I won't be able to bring my lathe to Bulgaria, unfortunately. Right, let's put this in. Let's use the scraper. And I'll show you how it works. If the camera will pick it up. I'll do it at the front here so you can see. Let me pull my hand underneath so you can see it. Now, obviously, you're going to get a different sound, but you see how that cuts using that edge? Hi, Wag. I'm good, thank you. See how that edge cuts? It's a really nice way of, so if you've got an old scraper, I suggest you sharpen up the edge of it. You can even come in with it like this. and use it. See that? You can come in, but it is really nice. Now, what I would suggest, bring in your tool rest as far as you can, so you're not overhanging too much. You can do that by turning your tool rest like so, and that way you're not overreaching with the, because it's a scraper. But it is a really nice way of cleaning up the inside of a box, or, as I say, this, when you've got straight edges. I'm just taking that back edge that I marked, just a bit at a time, light cuts. We're not in any rush. Making sure that my scraper is flat down on the tool rest, that it's not going to slam. And you can turn that up at 45, and you'll see the little wispies just flying in the air. See those tiny little wispies that you get? Now, there's a big one there from when I was turning earlier, but these tiny little wispies that you get when you turn it at 45, and it's a really smooth finish on that. Now I can go a little bit thinner. Now, it is a bit of a waste of wood, this. I could have cut the ring off of it or whatever, but hey, like I said, as we're going along, we're deciding what we want to go with this. So I'm just going to bring this very bottom piece in. Now, when the end of the tool's reaching the bottom of the bowl, that's where you've got to be careful, because then you've got two edges of the tool in contact with the material, and you can get a snag. So you just got to be vigilant. Very, very careful cuts. And don't hit the back of the bowl while you're at 45 degrees, because what will happen is, if you're at 45 degrees with this side angle and you hit the back, it's going to flick the tool down, and that's when you're going to get a catch. So don't go all the way to the back at 45 until you're ready to do so, and then you can be really, really careful. Nice light cuts. You don't want both edges touching the material at 45 degrees. It doesn't end well. Don't ask me how I know that. There you go. Let's just take a look at that now. Yeah, it's a really nice finish on that. We've got a little bit of end grain there. You're not going to fit, you know, you're not going to be super. You might get that with a gouge maybe and tidy that a little bit, but it's not super bad. The rest of it is really nice. Let's check our thickness all the way down, see how we even. I can wind that right down now. Okay, we're still a little bit thicker at the bottom than we are at the top. At the bottom, our thickest part is 9mm. At the front, I'm about 4mm. So I need to take off a good bit at the back because we're kind of going from. But what is happening now, I'm noticing on the outside, if I flip cameras, I'll show you, because we've gone quite thin and the stress factor, the stress is going in to the grain at the side because we've hollowed everything out. We've got slight cracks showing on the outside. So before I take any more off on the inside, I'm going to just address that with a bit of super glue and strengthen it up a bit. Buster's headed off. See you, Buster. Thank you so much for joining. He's probably gone already, but thank you, Buster. Right. Let me just into these cracks put a little bit of CA super glue, and what I do is I let it drop into the crack, let it soak. Just you'll see the bubbles bubbling as it's going in, and when you know it's filled up, just get some of your shavings and just rub over it, and it allows it to dry a bit quicker than having a puddle there. Find your next cracks. Now I've got quite a few cracks here where it's end grain here, so well obviously it's all end grain at the side, but just here, so I'm just going to smother it so it all drops in. This is just the cheap Euro shop super glue. We're not using anything fancy. It's really thin glue, drops into these cracks nicely. Like I say, I can see the bubbles bubbling. When it sinks in, I just take my shavings, take some from down the bottom here, stop them dripping everywhere. When they've gone in, just rub over the whole thing. Doesn't matter if we make a mess, we can clean that up again afterwards. Follow around, find our next cracks. I think we may have them all now. It's just that area there that was, and you can give it another soak in again. You know, it's not rocket science. You're just stabilizing the cracks. Let it sink in. Sinky, sinky. There you go. Now, I will mention, while we're talking about rings, Caitlin the Cat McCann, I think it's McCann, if you follow her, maybe Leona will go and find a link to her channel. If you go to Caitlin's channel and you're a wood turner, she has put out a collaboration shout out for any wood turners to turn rings for a project she's doing. The rings have to be a certain size. She has all the dimensions there on the video. So she's a young girl. I forget what age she is, but she's only young. I don't know, 14 maybe, I think. She's a fantastic little turner. She's up and coming. She's going to be fantastic when she gets a little bit more experience. But she's looking for anyone that wood turns to turn some rings. And what she's doing is she's cutting them and connecting them, and she's making a big long chain out of all the rings with all the wood turners. So go over to her her channel. Hi, Chris. How are you? And she's 14, yeah. And subscribe to her. Click the little bell. She'll be giving notifications on updates of that. And go and join in. I'm going to be turning some rings. I'll be doing them on a live very soon. And you don't send them to her address. Who is it that's helping her out? Is it Chestnut Products? 1 second. Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's... thank you very much. Oh, my door's got stuck. I just got a cup of tea. She read my mind. Excuse me while I slurp. I think it's chestnut, or is it record power? Mike, thank you so much. Yeah, it is chestnut. Thank you, Mike, for the donation. That is really kind of you. Thank you. It all helps towards my my future plans for going traveling and turning. So thank you. Yeah. So it gets sent to Chestnut, and then Chestnut are sending it to her. It's just because she's a child, it's just protecting her. It's that barrier so that her address is kept secret, and it's a great way of doing it. So well done, Chestnut Products. Chestnut Products also, Leona, if you don't mind, you could throw up their link as well for being so cool and helping Cat out. They've sent me a few bits and pieces in the past. I use their colours when the occasional time I do colouring. I use their Wood Wax 22 as well, and I use their sanding sealer and stuff. So they're a good company. They're good peoples. Great customer service as well. So shout out to Chestnut as well. I'm not affiliated by Chestnut. It's just you know, credit where credit's due. Right. So I've got to take a little bit more off the bottom inside now that my CA has gone off, just to stabilize that a little bit. We're going to go a little bit thinner at the bottom here. Thanks, Leona. Move my light a little bit so it's not causing shadow. Shadow. Well, it's going to cause shadow anyway. Sorry and all that. Scary sounds. You want to keep well away from this because it's a ring, because you are taking the center out of this material, you are taking all the strength out of it. This ring could go at any time. I don't have my face shield on because it affects the microphone, but I am well away from the firing range of this. I have my glasses on, which are near enough goggles anyway, but I would advise anyone that's doing this wear your face shield. Obviously you're not going to be talking through a microphone. Let the safety police have a go at me. You're very welcome. All trolls welcome. That reminds me, congratulations, JP, on your first proper troll. And he was a proper dick. There we go. Let's check our wall thickness is there now. See if our cracks have opened up at all. No, they haven't, with no movement with our cracks at all now, which is good. Let's just check our thicknesses at the bottom. Don't jinx yourself. Viking protection. You have no idea, Jen. People have called my house phone looking to talk to me. Yeah, exactly. People are definitely nuts. Oh yeah, looks like we're pretty close to even wall thickness. Let me see. Okay, we're nearly there. We're almost at about 4 mil all the way. I think that'd be enough. 4 mil will be enough that if it's dropped, it would kind of be strong enough. If I go any thinner than that, you know, it's just going to disintegrate if someone drops it. Like I say, this is probably going to be more of a showpiece than a functional piece, but we'll see. Yeah, I was looking into a PO box, and they're expensive here in Ireland. There we go. We're practically there now. I think just a tiny whisper more, and then we're good. Yeah, I looked into a PO box here in Ireland. They want something like 400 quid a year. I can't justify that for the amount of parcels that I get. I mean, if I started getting, you know, a lot of parcels, then maybe, yeah. But I can't justify it. There we go. I think I'm good with that. I am good with that. With wall thickness, we are, yeah, we're the same all the way down there now. And I'll just measure it for you, just so you know for sure. Yeah, we're exactly 4 mil. Excuse me. 4 millimeters thick on the wall. Excuse me. Hashtag Team Turner. So yeah, that's that. Right. Do a bit of sandy on the inside, a bit of sandy on the outside. Nothing super, because we are going to get that again. And then we'll part off the ring. Will I part off the ring? Shall I part off the ring? I tell you why I'm a little bit nervous about parting the ring off. I'll have to part off the ring to stick on my front and back. And to be honest with you, it won't matter if the ring goes misshaped, because it'll add character. Will it? It's going to cause trouble when I try and round it off, though. I've only got a 4 mil wall thickness. If it goes off, look, yeah, I'm going to part it off. I know the ring will probably do a bit of a squashy squash, but I mean, if it comes to it, we'll have to sand it by hand with the wheel on the lathe and just sand it down that way. But let's sand it inside and out. Am I happy with the bottom of this? I am, because we're not going to be using that. I'm going to be cutting it off at 60 mil, and we're well in that. Yep, that's good. Right, let's sand. Chris, Chris wanted to know if it would be possible to leave a little lip on the end so you would have a bigger surface for glue up. Chris, to be honest with you, when I turn the discs, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, to be honest with you, Chris. The only reason why is because, as I was saying, I don't know if you joined us. I think you joined us a bit later. If I show you on the top, I'm thinking that I'm going to cut this ring off, okay, and I'm going to sand or cut both sides at an angle, so there's a bit of a shape to it. So it's kind of that shape if you're looking at it here. Therefore, if I was to leave the lip wider, yes, I'll have more glue surface, but I wouldn't be able to turn like a mortise tenon type situation, which I was going to do originally. But I think 4mm is plenty. I'm going to glue the front and back onto this tonight, leave it overnight and let it stick with wood glue. I think we'll be good, to be honest with you. I think we'll be good. I know what you're saying about, but yeah, I think we'll be good. Sod it. We'll be good, Chris. We'll be good. Let's think positive, man. Right, Sandy, where will we start? How good are we? We're not bad. We've got some super glue to sand off there. We'll start at 120. 120, Schlurper T. How are we doing? Are people bored yet? Do you want me to bugger off? How long am I on? I'm on 2 hours now. Just under. What do you think? Are you happy to carry on? Any other questions, Leona, that I was ignorant enough to miss? Keep going. Night Miss T, thank you. Wayne's carry on. Sarah's yes. No more questions. Okay, let's get this what is it? Tool rest out the way and do some sanding. Everyone loves sanding. I'll flip over to here so you're looking at my beautiful face. Hi, how are you doing? Do you see I shaved? I look at least a year and a half younger with my Ernie Wise glasses on. Let's go on the inside first. I only have to sand the inside of the ring. Let's put the Hoover on so that I'm not breathing that crap in. Extraction. Come on now, do as you're told. Maybe if I lay it this way. Yeah, that might work. That's the one. Is that working? Yeah, that's working. Yay! Is that too loud? Took at least a year and a half off me. You are not Joey. Oh God, yeah, my daughter started watching Love Island. I will be spending more time in the shop, folks. Hashtag just saying. What a load. I watched about 5 minutes of it. What a load of toot. I've never seen such rubbish. I mean, talk about demoralize, degrade, and humiliate yourself. I mean, I thought I was bad when I went on the Great Irish Bake Off. Do you know? Because they edit. They film you, they edit you, they take words that you say out of context and put them somewhere else and make it look as if you said it at a different time that you actually said it, with all the special editing and all that, you know. But you sign up for that. But signing up for a show like that, you know, that's going to make or break you, right? Take TV. I'm getting a sound. What's the noise? Oh, heck. It's absolutely hammering it down outside. Can you hear that rain? Lordy. Oh, 4 girls in the house that love it. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. Scott, get out in your shop. Hells to the no, to the hey, hey, no. With that, I tell you. Wow, it's absolutely hammering it down outside. Yeah, it's only $50,000 or £50,000 or whatever. I think the winnings. No way. Would no way. Oh yeah, that's sounding up nice. I don't blame you, Scott. Oh, thunder and lightning! Ah, oh, hey lads and lasses. I got to bring a camera out here. Let me here. Look, let's go look at this. I want to see some Irish weather. Ah, oh, it's not going to reach. Damn it! It might. You might be able to see it from here. Hold on. Damn, I don't think it's going to reach. Let's put you to the door. See if we can see some of this. Look at this for rain. Can you hear it? Ooh, it's, ooh! Can you see? You can't see that. No, you can't see it. Oh, wet. Very wet. Very, very wet. Oh, so glad that I cured the roof problem. I won't bother with windows and stuff. I could open the window and have a look. Well, not the window, but you know what I'm saying. And do you know what? We could maybe, yeah, maybe. Let's take this down. Let's take this down. Woohoo! We might see some lightning in the background. Sorry, Elvis. There you go. There's rain. You're like, Holy cow, that's coming down. You see that? That's really, really, really wet rain. I was hoping you'd see some lightning. Serious thunder coming out there. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get back to, you might see some lightning in the background, if you're lucky. Right, next we're going to go to 180. All I can say is, glad that my shed is made of wood with a plastic roof. Good move, Steve. Don't want to be hit by lightning. That shit hurts. Yes, Leona. I hope you got a roof on your new shed. Yeah, I think I saw one on video, didn't I? Didn't you put one on video, Sarah? One of the storms. Best storm I ever saw was many, many years ago when I was with my friend Rob. I was driving his Ford Mustang and we were driving through Kentucky. Oh Lord, I have water running into my shed. That's not good. Uh-oh, sandbags. Excuse me a minute, folks. Shavings. See, this is what you use shavings for. Save your shed. Screw you, rain. That's signs of a heavy shower, lads and lasses. Ugh. See, you get it all on Steve Twidell's Turning Live. Wow. Right. Sorry. Where were I? 120. No, 180. Get that jet lathe off the floor. It's on a block of wood, Leona. So it's not actually in trouble. And where the water's gone, it's kind of, there is a dip in that corner, so it's come in and back round towards the edge. So it's not, the lathe is safe. I actually have a new home for that lathe in the other shed. I was tidying it today, so it's going into the bigger shed, well, the small block shed. Now, when you're sanding a thin piece of work like this, you have to, that's why I'm keeping my hand on it. Feel what heat you're putting into it. If it's getting too warm, back off a bit, let it cool down, because heat is not wood's best friend. Heat will cause the wood to expand and then crack. So, you know, don't over pressurize your sanding. It's sanding really nicely, this actually, from the feel of it. That end grain has sanded up beautifully. It's a lovely piece of wood, this. Thank you, Leona. Leona gave me a big box full of wood at Maker's Central. Yeah, that's sanding up really nice. I'll let you see it. Why not, indeed? See that? It's pretty. Lower the camera a bit. Why? What are you looking at? Is my gorgeous face not enough? Lower the camera a bit. There you go. How's that? Lower the bloody camera a bit. You don't want much, do you? Bloody nag. The owner's my new manager, you know. Right, I think that'll do for the for 120. 180, sorry, we did there, didn't we? I think we'll jump from 180 to 240 now, seeing as though it's sounding really nice. Go to 240 straight away. I know, I'm being lazy. Sorry. Ew, bug. Where? Don't say that. Where's the bug? Don't say bug. I don't like bugs. You want to freak Steve out, say bug. Flipping got me looking around now. I see a bug. That'll be the end of the show. You'll just be looking at a live, just a lathe spinning round. And Steve out the door, getting soaked. Wouldn't bother me. Move that lathe. Ah, look, there you go. Under the headstock. Where? Shut up. Oh, there's a bug. That's Steve. Shut up, Leona. Not funny. Don't like bugs. Spiders. Absolutely scared of spiders. When I open that curtain, he's at, look, see him there. He's on the window right there. I have the cure for that spider. He will be being cooked off camera. And if that doesn't do it, I've got two Edward Torchy hands. I don't do bugs. That's why I couldn't live in Australia or Bulgaria or any of them ear places that has bugs. Right, I think we're good, folks. I think we're sanded nice. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty wood. Let me turn that off. Sounds like a flipping sex-starved wolf. A flaming running spider in the shed full of shavings. No, he won't be flaming, he'll be cooked. I'll show you the exact movement, shall I? Pop! Glug, 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 glug. Psst. There you go. Spider sorted. You can tell I've done that before. Yeah, can keep them, Sarah. You can keep them. You can have those spiders. You're welcome to those spiders. I don't want those spiders. You enjoy those spiders. I don't want to know about them. Ain't no bush tucker trials going to be happening. Yeah. Right. So, guys, let me flip that camera over. You go. Pretty bit of wood. I'm going to put some sanding sealer into it now. And then I think I'm going to leave it. We've got a little bit of end grain in there that I want to just get by hand in a second. Not too much, just a tiny little bit. But I'm going to put sanding sealer in it, then I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to Yorkshire grit it or anything because we're going to be cutting it and adding bits to it and stuff like that. It'll just be a waste of effort. I just want to get my 180 again and my 220, and I just want to hit this bit of end grain here by hand just to get it. I'm not super worried about it because it's inside, and like I say, you're probably not going to be able to get your hand fully in. Well, a woman might, but a lady, sorry. Oh yeah, that got that end grain. That's not a problem. It's just a little bit that I needed to. I'm not really worried about this little bit. It's on the edge because I'd probably be cutting that bit off when we shape it. But, you know, we'll sand it anyway. It's not taking much to get rid of it. It's just a little bit that... There we go. Got it. Lovely. Jubbly. Lovely jubbly. Right, there we go. That's good. We'll give it a wipe with some methylated spirit. Denatured alcohol, for those of you that have not heard the terms methylated spirit. Just looking for my tissue, sorry. Give it a clean. Get some of the dust out of it. Out of the pores of the wood. Give it a good cleaning. It's purple here in Ireland because there's not much. It's quite a tight grain on this beach. You can actually see there's a slight wobble in it already where it's misshapen. But that's okay. We'll get that. It's fine. Stop raining now, folks. That's how it happens here in Ireland. The sun will probably come out now. We'll have full daylight at 11 o'clock at night, like we did last night. It was actually daylight at 11:30 last night here. You could look out from here. It's still quite bright out there now, you can see. Well, you can't because we're on a different camera. But you can see it's quite bright outside. And it's what? 10:30. Mental, lads. Right, there we go. That's cleaned the pores out. Put a bit of sand and sealer into it. I'm going to use a cellulose one. Just because it smells nice and it wakes you up. It's some good shit, man. Yeah, not quite sure. I think it's more for the child, you know, the child safety regulations here. But as you say, it makes it look more inviting, turn it purple. It probably allows, I don't know. I don't get why they do it. Maybe it's so that users that are on the street, if they use it, you can see that it's meth, it's not whiskey or whatever, and you can go up to them and say, hey, maybe you shouldn't be drinking that. I don't know. Who knows why they do these things? Stupid laws. All I know is that this sanding sealer is making me feel very happy right now. Woo! Woo! Smells good, man. Steve's getting high. Okay. There we go. Sanding sealer. Sanded. That's as far as I'm going with that. I'd put the lid back on, but I can't remember. Oh, there it is. Here, smell that. Smells lovely, doesn't it? I had to take that sign down anyway. I'm not Temple Boy Turners anymore. I'm going to have to make a new sign. Maybe we'll do that on a live too. Sad. People were sad to hear that Temple Boy Turners was going away and that arse Steve was taken over. Right. Should we part it off? The main element should be alcohol, but they have to add a poison so it can't be used for human consumption, and then for consumer use it's purple to warn people not to consume it. All right. Hi, Paul. Hi, David. Hi, Donna. Lots of people joining us. Very good. I'm making a handbag. Yes, you heard right. I'm making a handbag, a wooden handbag. Let me pop the camera over so you can see it. There we go. So we've turned the outside round. It was a square blank. It's beech. We've turned it round. We have then, let me get the other camera here so you can see, get the full ding dong. We have then hollowed it out. There you go, to a 4mm wall thickness. And we've sanded it to 240 and we've sanding sealed it. That's as far as I'm going with it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to part off at the back here. At the back here. I part it off here. We're going to have about 60mm width. And we're going to have a ring. The ring will probably misshape. It probably will go zoink or do something weird. I'm not too worried about it. And then I have, can't remember where I put them. Let me see if I can find them. Ah, here they are. Here they are. They come to set. This is where I hope they're big enough. Yes. So I have these. They are chopping boards that I bought, and I believe they're olive wood. They're very nice. They're very heavy. But they, they're about 5 or 6mm thick. We can reduce the width of those a little bit. But we're going to stick one on the front, one on the back of the ring, and put a little bit of detail, fanciness in the front. And then we're going to cut the top off to make an opening for the top. And then we're going to do some kind of hinged gizmo. We might cut it at an angle too, just to give it a bit of an effect. We might even cut the ring at an angle this way to give it a bit of shape too, and just put a slight sand at the bottom for it to be able to stand up. That's what we're doing. So we're and then we're going to add a bit of leather and stuff like that. I got these, I was showing them earlier. I got these leather straps. They're like, I don't know what they are. They're like leashes for animals, but they're really good quality leather with like a hessian inside. But they're nice brown. They go nice with this wood. And then they've got some cool chrome latches at the bottom, which I think will look gnarly for this bag as straps or something, but we're going to fancy it up a bit. So that's the plan. Anywho, so for now, I'm just going to part the ring off and let it go do what it's going to do. Night, Christine. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to part it off. Then I'm going to say goodbye to you. We'll call that. And then I'm going to come back on again tomorrow and continue with it when I've had to think about and decided exactly what I'm going to do with it. How does people think about that idea? Let's get my, I think I'll use my crown thin parting tool because this is going to cut quite easily. We're only going, I think, let's mark. The owner thinks it's a good plan. Sarah thinks it's a good plan. Is it Leona or Sarah? Good plan. Okay. Right. Yeah, so we're going to go 60 mil ish. And I'm going to go a little bit more than 60 because, you know, get the most out of it. Let's mark that so I can see it. That will be my ring. Let's, I really shouldn't say things like that, should I? That will be my ring. Right. Let's part that off. Boom. There you go, folks. One ring. Didn't cut too bad. Got a couple of fluffies there that I got to sand off. I can do that by hand, but I think that's pretty. Hi, Daniel. How are you? You're all right. You're not late. You're in time for your schedule. So there you go. It is slightly thicker at the back. Now I had that marked as the same all the way along. It is. It's saying that it's just. Oh no, it's just slightly thicker at the back. I'm not really worried, to be honest with you. It's not too weak, so I think we can work with that. I think we'll be good. It's a ring. It'll be a handbag. I'm going to keep this. I tell you, I'm going to keep this. This will be a good glue block for when we're working on it. We can use this as a glue plate. It's good and thick. It's about 8 mil thick, and it'll be a good solid glue block for when we work on the rest. So, folks, I know I'm not, blind to the fact that all we've accomplished today. Let me turn this off. All we've accomplished today is turning a beechwood ring. But it's the way that I process a project that we're also seeing on these lives. Do you know, I'm not going to come in with this drawn out perfect plan and we're going to do this and it's going to work. Boom, boom, boom. I want to show you how I do process a project like this. All I know in my head is that I want to make a wooden handbag or a wooden bag of some kind with leather straps and maybe leather buckles with a bit of design on it. I might go mad with pyro on it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But what you're seeing then is you're seeing the process of starting with a block of wood and working through how I'm going achieve the end goal. And sometimes, as you all know, I'm sure all of you, when you're working in your workshop, you start out with a plan, and you get to your end goal, but you take different paths to get there. Wood is unpredictable. We've ended up with a ring. Had I have thought about it going into it, hindsight's a great thing. And what I might do for the next one, a bigger one that I make, is I'll just cut a ring off of a blank, and I won't waste any wood. It's not nice to waste wood. I don't like wasting wood. I don't like seeing all this beach all over the floor, right? Hindsight's a great thing. What I'll do for the next one is I'll sand the outside, and I'll core out, and I'll cut a ring off of a bowl blank, take the bowl blank, put it aside, and then have the ring, put it on a glue block, and sand the inside. Great. Hindsight's brilliant. But I didn't have that thought before it happened. That's not how I work. So I just have the picture of roughly of what I want, and then that's where I want to head towards. So, you know, haters gonna hate. Oh well. So yeah, we got a beechwood ring. Wow, wow. Let me do this. Oh, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'll take a picture. There you go. I took a picture of that. Thumbnail. Evolution. Exactly, Eddie. How are you, Eddie? I don't know how many people I've got watching, how many people I've had watching, in and out, on and off. But thank you very much for joining me on the very first of the new format of Woodturning Live with Steve Twidell. Jen, you can steal the idea. I want you to steal the idea. That's why I do these things. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, it copied me. Whatever. I don't tend to copy people. I try not to anyway. I don't think I ever have. Loosely design things around an idea, but I've never really outright copied someone. It's not really the way I go. So I had 40 watching at one point. Been a steady 30. That'll do me. Hopefully we'll grow and we get a much better audience now that I've decided the direction I'm going. So Woodturning Live with Steve Twidell is a go. It's the way I'm going to go from now on. Thank you so much for all watching. Leona, you're a star. Thank you very much for keeping an eye on the chat and keeping the questions safe for me. If you want any more information about Kate the Cat and the Ring collaboration, then give me a shout and I'll forward the information. If not, just go to her channel. Leona did put it up there earlier. Go to her channel and like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Hit the bell for notifications. Can I remind you, if you haven't already, to hit the bell next to the subscribe button on my channel here, because what that does is it gives you a half-hour warning of when I'm going to go live, and you'll get a notification come up on your screen or whatever, and it will tell you that I'm going live, and then you'll have a half-hour warning. You can jump in the chat, see who's here, and join in. If you want me to turn anything, give me a shout. If you're just watching this after it's been live, David, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you for the Deutschmarks. Is it Deutschmarks? Not sure what the DKK is, but thank you so much for that, David. That's very kind of you. Thank you. It's going, the money, as I said, all the donations tonight are going towards setting up a mobile unit where I can go and do live shows at other people's workshops. So I'm looking forward to doing that in the future. Hashtag buy a bus, Steve. Could that be a hashtag? So that's it, guys. I'm going to stop waffling. Danish kroner. There you go. I thought that was a drink. Thanks, guys. I'll see you again soon. Like I said, Leona, thank you. You're a star. Thanks to everyone that's watched. Happy birthday to Josh. Josh begins with J. to happy birthday to. Sorry, Andy. Josh. Josh. Is it Josh? Jacob. Happy birthday, Jacob. Leona saves the day again. I'm sorry. Happy birthday, Jacob. Knew it was a J. I'm crap with names. Barely remember my own. I'll see you all again soon. Thank you so much. I got to think of a new ending. No Temple Boom anymore. Hashtag think of a new ending. Hashtag buy a bus, Steve. Is that going to be a new hashtag? Do you know what? We can still end it with, this show was brought to you by Stephen Twidell. And he is forking bananas. See ya.